tied it up instead, but he could not repeat his heroics in overtime, airballing the game-tying attempt. KD finished with 48 points in 53 minutes, while playing without Kyrie Irving and with James Harden, who returned from an injury. Joined now by Fox NBA analyst Slick Rick Dubuque with Acho. Are you giving Kevin Durant a pass for the series loss to the Bucks?
Absolutely not, but Kevin Durant should have passed the last shot against the Bucks. No, I'm not giving KD a pass. KD is proving, or at least he proved, that he is currently the greatest player in basketball. Unfortunately, he's eliminated from currently playing the game of basketball. But he proved that he is currently the greatest player in basketball. I said that twice for those that think I'm about to slander KD. Why am I not giving him a pass, Slick, Sell? Because for 8 consecutive years, LeBron James ran through the East with players healthy and with players hurt. Go back to 2012, if we shall, when Chris Bosh missed 9 consecutive games, when LeBron and his Heat were down to the Celtics 3-2, and LeBron had that miraculous game 6 in the Garden, rather, and he went off 45, 15, and 5 without Chris Bosh, his third best player. You know, KD was without Kyrie, his third best player. And then LeBron James went on to win that series, went on to the NBA Finals, where he would obviously go on and win. 2015, Kevin Love messes up his shoulder against Boston, opening round 1. LeBron still goes to the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors, where he loses Kyrie in Game 1. Still steals 2 games and ends up losing ultimately in 6 games in the NBA Finals. 2018, LeBron James trots out a starting lineup of George Hill, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson. Kevin Love runs through the East again, where he gets to the NBA Finals, albeit losing 4-0, but still gets to the NBA Finals. And Kevin Durant, against the Bucks team, who we all said is not built to last in the playoffs because their best player, Giannis, isn't a closer. We all clowned as their great regular season team led by a great regular season player, but they do not have the talent to get there. You, Kevin Durant, the greatest player currently playing basketball, which I will loudly and proudly admit until the start of next season, you couldn't do what LeBron James did for 8 consecutive years. We didn't give a pass when LeBron James got swept in 2018. We didn't give LeBron a pass when he faltered this year. We didn't give LeBron a pass when he got hurt in 2019. So no, Kevin Durant, you have garnered yourself the respect to not get passes, and you ain't getting no pass, big dog.
Is this the same Emmanuel Acho, Emmy Acho, who said that the Bucks were going to win in 6?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the same Emmanuel Acho who said the Bucks were going to win in 6. And now you're suggesting that the Nets and Kevin Durant didn't achieve what was expected, but yet you didn't expect them to win the series. So I don't understand. By the way, let me give you your flowers, because your Bucks did advance, as you suggested. And Marcellus, your Clippers did advance, as you had hoped. Now, you guys were only 1 for 2, and I have both the Bucks and the Clippers in the finals, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm on the show. So,
My dog.
I am not going to give KD a pass because he does not need one. The man played all 53 minutes of Game 7. He only played half the season. He played nearly every minute of this series and did it with a top-heavy built team that did not have 2 of the top pieces as part of it because of injury. So ultimately, he gave you everything he could. If I'm going to blame anyone for them coming up short, is the fact that they couldn't find minutes to steal, to take KD off and give him a breather in Game 7. There's a reason he went scoreless in the final 5 minutes of overtime, because he was absolutely gassed. If you look at the 4 teams that have advanced, they have they have 2 things in common: depth and versatility. They can play big and they can play small. The Brooklyn Nets were built to be a small ball, offensive scoring team, and then lost 2 of the greatest offensive pieces that they have. I cannot fault KD for that. And your comparisons to LeBron, those teams were built for LeBron to do what he does. They weren't necessarily big threes. They weren't necessarily offensive juggernaut players around him, but they were guys that could do all the dirty work. And there were enough of those guys still available for him to advance as he did. So KD did everything he possibly could. To think that he came up short, the Brooklyn Nets came up short. Kevin Durant did not.
That's exactly my point. The Nets need a pass, but KD doesn't need a pass. Have you ever seen him dribble? Good Lord, dude play point forward, point center, doesn't need a pass. He can bring the ball up by his damn self and almost carry this team to the next round. Let's talk about LeBron James, since you want to bring his butt up. How did LeBron James look in L.A. year one? Anybody? How did
KD look last
How did that turn out? Did he even make the playoffs, let alone did he go as far as KD and the Brooklyn Nets did? No, he did not. Let's talk about the Celtics' big three in year one. How did that turn out? Pretty good, right? First season together, 2007, 2008, best in NBA record. And they defeated the Lakers in the NBA Finals. But then you look around and you say, what about the LeBron James's big three in Miami? How did that year one turn out? Did
NBA
they win it
Finals.
All? Oh, did they win it all?
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals, that's great. But you know what? You still got the frown. You still got the smile upside down, just like KD does right now in that situation. If you look at the Nets' big three, they didn't have a big three when they needed a big three. So they get a pass, and then Kevin Durant sitting there and said, I tried. I almost did it. So don't talk to me. You could talk to O for Joe. You could talk to O for Joe Harris all day. You could talk to a couple other players that I'm sure may be seeing themselves in different locales next year. But Kevin Durant is sitting there like, I did all that I could. And be real. Well, 1 second ago, before replay, before everyone knew what the result was, weren't we sitting there like, did Kevin Durant just beat a team by himself? And he almost did.
Wait a second, Sal.
And all I'm saying
Wait
is,
a second, Sal.
I'm going to respect the man who was not in a big three moment, even though it was designed for a big three, who did this. I'm not giving that guy a pass because he don't need it.
No, it wasn't well said. It wasn't well said, Slick. I don't need you co-signing something that's about to get rejected at this bank. I don't want to see KD. I want to see my dogs. Let me look at my people. Here's a problem, America, and Marcellus did it in his very last sentence, so I have to bring that glaring issue to our attention.
What, lost my voice? What?
You said KD nearly beat a team by himself.
Yeah, he did.
So had the Nets won, KD would have beat the team by himself. But since they've lost, now all of a sudden we want to bring up O for Joe. Now all of a sudden we want to talk about Kyrie and Harden not being present. But had he won, we was going to give him all the credit by himself. At the end of Game 5, what we came up here and did, Marcellus did it first, but I did co-sign, because you know me, sometimes I can be a follower. Shame on you, Watcho. What Marcellus came up here and did, we applauded Kevin Durant for one thing, for properly calculating just how much energy he would need at the end of the game to get it done. Remember Game 5, KD gave you 49, 17, and 10, 49, 17, and 11. But most impressive, he knew just how much he needed to save to get it done, and we praised him for that. So in the same manner, we don't have to slander him, but let's at least...
no, don't do this.
But it's not.
Yeah,
but let's at least, Slick, bring to the attention that Kevin Durant miscalculated the same thing we praised him for.
Don't do that.
Slick,
I told you.
Slick, let me tell you that. Slick, let me tell you why I have to. Giannis played 50 minutes. KD played 53 minutes. What was the difference in the game, which you just brought up? KD was 0 for 6 in overtime, and Giannis made the pivotal bucket in overtime, which changed the trajectory of the game. The Milwaukee Bucks had not scored in 4 minutes. A minute, 12 seconds left. Giannis goes down, and he gets a bucket. In overtime, the only reason the Nets got a bucket was because of Bruce Brown. So I have to do it, because the difference in those 3 minutes was the difference in the game. You know Kevin Durant has full autonomy and authority to put himself in a game, and he has full autonomy and authority to take himself out of a game. I wouldn't have done it, Slick, if we didn't praise KD for it in Game 5. But because we praised KD for being able to calculate just how much energy he would need to get it done, we at least have to call to attention the fact that he miscalculated how much energy he would need to get it done. I just got to at least call it to attention to be fair.
Acho, I loved your first point. We always give the star too much credit and too much blame when things go either right or wrong. I agree with that 1,000%. And in all of the arguments that we have about LeBron or KD or Steph or any of that, that always ends up being a huge factor, is that we overemphasize that. But you are the same Acho who said, as this series unfolded, the Nets are playing with fire by playing KD so many minutes, by playing James Harden so many minutes.
Correct.
They're going to pay a price for this at some point. And for you to suggest